Welcome back to the next appraisal tool modules. In this module, we will be discussing question number 19. If an intervention was examined, was fidelity monitored and reported? Authors will typically provide this type of information in the results section of an article. If you have completed the previous modules, then you heard about the different study designs in the module for question number 6. Part B of that appraisal module involved if the study included an intervention. Was that intervention clearly described? This appraisal question now asks for those studies that do include an intervention, did the author report how the intervention was maintained and monitored? Why is this important? If a researcher is conducting a study with an intervention, it is of interest to make sure the intervention was administered as exact as possible to all participants. Variances or deviations in the intervention itself may contribute to differences in results. For example, say an intervention of a cartoon program is being shown to children for distraction while they are receiving an IV insertion. Let's say part of the time the cartoon program started at least 5 minutes before the IV start, and the rest of the time it started immediately when the IV procedure began. These differences are of a concern in the fidelity in administering the intervention, and one can easily see how different results can occur between these participants even though the cartoon program itself was the same. In a study where an intervention occurs, we want to know how the research team checked and maintained the fidelity or consistent administration of that intervention. If the study doesn't include an intervention, then this question would not need to be appraised. Here is an example from a published article. In this brief example, the authors described that the intervention was delivered by 2 specially trained nurses using a script for the motivational interviewing. Notice the researchers did fidelity monitoring by listening to 25% of the recorded sessions to assess if the interviewing was showing any drift or variance between the groups. Again, this is the type of reporting we would hope to see so we, the readers, know that the fidelity or adherence to the protocol and administration of the intervention was being reviewed, as this helps us further trust the results that are being reported. In forming your appraisal response, first reflect on whether an intervention was conducted in the study. If there was an intervention, then determine if the authors provided any clear discussion about monitoring the fidelity and maintaining adherence to the protocol. If this study did not include an intervention, then the appraisal question may be skipped or reported as non-applicable. If an intervention existed but no discussion of fidelity was provided, then formulate your response accordingly. Congratulations! You have successfully completed this module. You may return to the main menu or continue to other appraisal modules in the next EBP course.